What's going on, everybody? I hope that you had a great long Labor Day weekend. My name is Brad, and I trade over-the-counter stocks, and this is my channel, Own the Chaos. So the primary purpose of this, if you're visiting for the first time, is to help you become better at trading. If you've never traded in your entire life and you're interested in the type of stocks that I trade and want to see some insane volatility, then this is definitely the place for you. A couple things I want to cover before we get into the stocks that I'm watching this month is going to be, if you have not joined my WeTrade HQ community, I highly encourage you to do that. Links are in the description for that. And I also have a comprehensive course. So if you're a little uneasy about making your first trade, or if you don't know what to watch out for when it comes to share structure, if you have no idea what dilution is, I highly encourage you to check out my comprehensive course. Link is also in the description for that. And I have this shirt that I'm wearing here. It's in very limited quantity. People are buying this up, so the link is also in the description for that as well. Along with all kinds of other WeTrade HQ and Own the Chaos apparel. I feel a little naked. I'm not wearing my headphones, and I'm not even going to bother with them. I think you guys can hear me just fine. I'm going to, speaking of which, thanks, Devin. Appreciate that. Yeah, so WeTrade HQ shirts. This is one that everybody was just picking on me for, and I figured I'd turn it into a shirt. People thought it was hilarious. It basically, if you can't see it, says click the buy button and, you know, buy the effing dip. That's just one of those funny things. So anyway, got all those pleasantries out of the way, so welcome. Hopefully I earn your subscription or to my channel, and smash that like button by the time we're all said and done. Also, don't hesitate to ask any questions over here. If you have any questions pertaining to tonight's topics or just trading in general, feel free to ask away over here, and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. So let me welcome some folks in here. Alan, as always, buddy, it's good to see you. Devin, always interesting to see you as well. Marlon, what's going on? Israel, good to see you. Michelle, hey, what's going on? Nice to see you guys here as well. So, all right. So the two stocks that I'm watching for the month of September, HIPH is in the mix, Devin, but the two that I'm really looking at is COTE and RDGL, and I'll go ahead and explain to those as to why those are my two stocks that I'm watching for the month of September. For those of you who are joining me or new to my channel, I do have a Stock Watch Sunday that I go over every Sunday evening. We decided to do things a little bit differently today. I actually asked the folks in my group at WeTradeHQ.com what they would rather have, since we had a 3-day weekend. So we moved it to Monday. So this is what we're doing for Monday. We have our Stock Watch Monday video. So what's going on, Celeste? And so let's go ahead and take a look at them. So let me bring myself down here. As much as you want to see my beautiful face, I got to hide it, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and move you over here as well, because you're right there. All right. So let's take a look at this. Okay. This is RDGL. Let's take a look at this. RDGL. This is RDGL. Let's take a look at this. RDGL. Let's take a look at this. RDGL. K9. 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 Let's take a look. All right, so I just had to mute that. It was driving me crazy. Okay, so RDGL has this IsoPet product that's coming out. So it attacks basically the tumors that are in dogs and cats, and they strongly feel that this is going to be something that can really be impactful for the community, that people, yeah, I had to take care of that. Sorry about that. So anyway, so really interesting stuff here. If they can get this going and start selling this, this is going to be huge for this company. Obviously, you guys know that the pet industry is worth billions and billions of dollars, and people care about their pets more now than they ever have. And so I'm going to put my headphones on just to be on the safe side, since I already had that little audio snafu there. So anyway, first product introduction step was recently accomplished by Dr. Alice Villalobos. of Veterinary Medicine Advisory Board. She published her second edition, blah, blah, blah. So basically just goes into who she is. And so what I thought was interesting was that we are projecting the ISOPET product debut by October of this year to allow time to collect more data on this indication for use. So this is why I think it's one to watch for September, because I think that they're going to run into that October event. Remember that I'm always looking at at a lot of stocks to get in at the very bottom of them. And then, it's one of those things where I like to look for potential events, especially if the share structure is something that I like, and then buy into something like that in anticipation of it running into that event. We saw that with HIPH in August, right? I was, basically pounding my fist on the table about that for weeks, about how, we're looking to get in at the bottom of the stock. I even averaged down a couple times. And then, because I stated that historically, when stuff like this comes out, especially, one-off products that people don't see a lot of, and this is huge, if this ends up being a success, that, they run into this event. So my anticipation is that this is going to run into the event. Now, I will say there are things that I'm not crazy about when it comes to RDGL. And one of them is this right here. So this is their latest 10Q. So this is their quarterly filing. And convertible notes payable is at $3,158,000. Now, if you're not sure of what convertible notes are, they're basically, that is dilution. Anything that has convertible notes attached to it is dilution. Pretty easy to spot that. So that's one thing that I'm not crazy about. So if you're looking to make a play on this and you have a very small account, my suggestion to you is, and again, this is not me giving advice or anything like that, but my suggestion to you would be maybe to be cautious of this, because dilution rarely allows a stock to sustain any kind of gains that it does have. Now, I'm not saying that it won't sustain gains, and it's certainly nice if you go to WeTradeHQ.com, you have the ability to do some pretty nice technical analysis, and I already have it drawn up here for you as well. I put some pretty decent support level lines down. If you go and look at 32 looks like it's a pretty good and solid accumulation spot here. Looks like it's holding pretty steady above there. This is the hourly chart that I have pulled up, and my indicators here are Bollinger Bands and the RSI indicator. Those are my two that I like to use together. So if it drops below that 32, it looks like before it, made this nice little spike and consolidate around here, that you might have a nice little entry, maybe a little bit further than that. But 32 and 36 look like they're pretty solid consolidation or entry levels if you haven't gotten into this yet, or maybe even an opportunity to average down if you got in at a little bit of a higher price. I think 36 and 32 could be nice little potential entry points, or like I said, average down areas or accumulation, what have you, when it comes to RDGL. Again, I can't stress this enough. This isn't one channel or whatever that tells you what to buy and what to sell. This is just what to watch for, and this is how I find value in stocks, and how I make my trades and how I've found success. By no means does it mean that you need to be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing and buying the exact same stocks that I'm doing. There's plenty of other plays out there that you can use this method with, and you could certainly make some serious money with. But for me, this is just one example as to what I see as far as value, how I find value in these stocks. So that's RDGL. This is why I think RDGL could be running into October. Remains to be seen if we see any other PRs or anything like that come out in September. But this is why I get in stuff like this so early and get into the bottom of the stock, because by the time that maybe mid to end of September comes around, it could potentially be much higher than this price. And I always like to get in at very bottom support levels. So this is what I've identified for you guys. And again, this is just an example to show you how I find value in a stock. And potentially you could find value in this, great. If not, you can use the same, again, system that I'm using on something else to try and make a play on that as well. So second one is COTE. Now, this has been one of contention, a source of contention for a lot of folks within even our group. But, you know, it's not like an animosity sort of way, but there's been some back and forth about, you know, are they diluting? Are they not diluting? What's going on with COTE? And for me, I think that COTE, and we'll go ahead and look it up here. Again, this is WeTradeHQ.com. You can click on this and do awesome technical analysis. There's all kinds of other tools as well. There's mentorship programs, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But I like to use WeTradeHQ.com for technical analysis to kind of try to identify support and resistance levels. Anything oversold or overbought situations can certainly take advantage of that here at WeTradeHQ.com. And then you could also talk about it, chat about it with other folks in our group. As you can see here, there's been a lot of people discussing COTE and what it's been doing. And so why do I see value in COTE? So COTE, they have been diluting for some time, quite a bit of time here, and I can sit here and draw you maybe a potential support level here as well, or even down here in the nines. I think 9 could potentially be a really solid support level there, and perhaps 12 as well. But 12 or 13 really, if you can see that there. So anyway, COTE, they were diluting pretty heavily. We can see that their share structure, again, this is OTC markets. If you're not familiar, their share structure looks quite ugly until you get down to the float. So their float's about 49 million. I think there's going to be a little bit more than that because they have been diluting since this April 2018 date. But it's not going to be that much more than this 49 million, I think, in my opinion. If you look at the volume level here, based on the amount of selling, hasn't been a lot of that going on up to this point. COTE, if you're a car guy, then you kind of know what this might be. But if you're looking at their most recent news, let's see here. Yeah, here we go. So they had they have a brand new type of motor. So it's an aircraft engine that they are building. It's a prototype, but it's something that's a little bit different than your regular combustion engine. So if you're a car guy, you know that combustion engines, they just have a piston, right? It's a big, you know, that it's on a a crankshaft. So a crankshaft rotates those pistons around. Basically, there's a tiny little explosion in the motor that forces that piston back down, and then it comes back up, and that's how it rotates. That's how you get those RPMs, or rotations per minute, on the engine. So it's a combustion engine, which means that it just explodes. There's tiny little explosions in your engine, thousands and thousands of them every minute. And so what they're looking to do, which I find pretty interesting, it's a different type of rotary engine. And this is, again, I don't want to get too technical about what the product actually is, but just know that it's very fascinating. It's a very fascinating type of engine. You can go to their website and read all about it if you want, but I think it's pretty interesting. But what they're looking to do is that they're extracting hydrogen from water to basically make this as clean and as close to a perfect burn as possible. And if you're a car guy, that you know that getting to a perfect burn is not easy. It's next to impossible. And so they're looking to get this, you know, going, and I think that we could potentially see some updates on this month, or maybe going into early next month. So for me, it's one of those things where it looks like the dilution is ending based off of the level 2, and looking at the market makers there, that they've significantly pulled back their dilution. If you look at VNDM as the market maker on COTE, it's a very common dilutive market maker you can see on there, and they have pulled back significantly, I think way back into multi-pennies or so for the last week or two. So there was a pretty healthy pullback on COTE. I actually made some pretty decent money on this on the first initial run. It's been a nice little dip here, but it appears as if the dilution really is ceased for whatever reason up to this point. And I have to believe that maybe there's potentially some sort of other catalyst coming out on this. Again, there's a lot of action going on here. And really, if there's nothing else going on, what could be potentially happening with COTE is that they the catalyst could be that just there is no more dilution going on. There's been plenty of times where I've gotten into a stock that's been diluted all the way to shit, all the way down to 0004, 0005. Dilution ends, and then it just boom, skyrockets. It goes up, you know, maybe to 003, 004. So you could definitely double your money. There's potential for that on COTE, and so that is why those two stocks are my two stocks that I see value in, and the ones that I'm watching out for in September. Now, by no means do I think that you should be buying these or just because I see value in them at all. No, we always encourage at WeTradeHQ to do your own due diligence. And if you see value in it, great. If you don't, fine. Nobody's going to pressure you into buying anything, or nobody's going to pressure you into holding on to something that you shouldn't be holding on to, anything like that. There's a huge negative connotation, especially within the OTC, that, you know, people who flip stocks, you know, basically buy in and get out within, you know, a couple of minutes or something like that. People hate those type of traders. But you know what? In my opinion is that if the stock is good enough, it ain't going to matter if those people are flipping it or not. It's going to take off. It's going to run. If it's a quality stock, it's not going to matter who's flipping it. So, you know, we don't, you know, discourage any of that. Make money however it is that you feel comfortable making money. And we have such a great community within WeTradeHQ that encourages and celebrates the success of any individual within our group. And it's not just with OTC stocks. If you check out WeTradeHQ.com, we have another course with Scott Phillips Trading. He's a futures and Forex guy, really knowledgeable and very successful trader who has you know, joined our crew. We have plenty of other partnerships that are going on that will involve cryptocurrency, all types of other trading options, what have you. And so that is the primary purpose of WeTradeHQ.com, to connect people who trade all different types of stocks, not just over-the-counter stocks like I do, but all sorts of different types. And we'll have experts in their specialized field based off of whatever it is that you might be interested in, so that you can check that out and learn and grow and find your niche that you are good at, or whatever you want to be successful at. So if it's not OTCs, that is fine. I don't care. Just go and do whatever it is that you can find success in doing, as long as you hang out at WeTradeHQ.com. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and check to see what people are chatting about. Cohiba and Rum. Oh, nice. Nice, Laura. So, yeah, Alan. So that Alan was talking to me, or making a comment as far as the COTE and the engines that they're making. So yeah, perfect burn means major horsepower, right? So the more perfect, and it's not just major horsepower, but it's efficient. So there's less emissions and all that other good stuff. So I think it's very important to note that. And again, I'm not saying that they will pull this off or anything like that. After all, it is an OTC. But it's certainly interesting and piqued my interest. And I thought that you guys would, you know, maybe see what I see as well, and how I find value in that. ECDP, Alan, yeah, let's go ahead and check that out. So I'm gonna let's bring me back down here. I did see that ECDP over the weekend. Some folks were chatty about that one, so let's take a look at it. So ECDP, Ryder System Inc. Oh no, that's not. That's the Ryder Trucks, right? That's something different. ECDP. I think I got a little quick there. Yeah, there we go. Eco Depot. So it looks like a lot of people have been talking about ECDP. So let's go to the hourly chart and take a look at it here. So it seems some pretty decent activity as of late. Especially going into Friday's close. And we can go ahead and take a look at ECDP right now. Right now, it's currently got a yield sign on there, as we can see, which means that they're not completely current yet. But let's see here. If we go to disclosures and see what they got going on. So here it is, 9/1, the attorney letter came out. We can take a look at that and we can discuss what exactly does that mean as soon as it gets pulled up here. While that's doing that, let's take a look at the security details, look at the share structure, 200 million authorized shares, 24 million float, really tiny float. Usually I try to stay away from one floats that's this small, but if there's enough trading going on, then it ain't going to matter. So look at the attorney letter here. In my capacity as special counsel, blah, 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 I've been requested to provide certain information assurances to connection with issuers posting the issuer of the annual financial report. So basically, this is just an attorney letter that's out that's saying that they're looking to get their company current, and it's going to be happening. And we have a little segment within my mentorship class. So if you're interested in getting into my mentorship course, or not my mentorship course, but I have a course plus there's a mentorship, which I should address. If you purchase my course, you will get 30 days free of mentorship. So what will happen is you will buy my course and you'll get 30 days and you get the opportunity to tune in with me and a select few folks who have also engaged in my course and the mentorship, and we go live. I go live with you guys from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is the most volatile point in time in the market, and we discuss about what's going on. So part of what we do is that when news pops up before pre-market, we dissect that news to determine whether or not it's actually news or if it's BS. And so what we do is we'll dissect that. And so if I'm looking at that attorney letter there, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's BS, because it's not like it's not untrue, but it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of like, meh, okay, well, you have a yield sign, you put an attorney letter out that you're looking to get current, so just get current already. So perhaps this could entice and induce some buying tomorrow at the open, but I'm not completely sold on that just yet. So we'll see. I think it's going to be more impactful when they actually do get current versus this attorney letter that comes out. Even though they've kind of been silent for a while, for me it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I could see perhaps making a decent trade off of that. Based off of that attorney letter that came out. But for me, it's kind of like the proof is in the pudding. So put something out there that actually matters and that's actually going to be, tangible news for me. So REEI is one of those ones where I told you it's kind of a dark horse. We're going to have to see what the custodianship brings about. And then the custodianship got delayed. So REI, again, is going to have to be another one that's going to be put on the back burner until that custodianship goes through, if it even goes through at this point. So REI is an unfortunate one that, sometimes these custodianships just don't make it. And this was one, unfortunately. But I did disclose that last week when I was talking to you about REEI, that, it was a dark horse for a reason. It's one of those ones where it's like, if the custodianship goes through, it could potentially be a stock that could double your money or more. Unfortunately, it went the other way, and that it is what it is. Sometimes that happens. Her rumbles about REI. Yeah, so that's again REI, and no problem. CELZ is been one that's been rocking pretty good. Let's see here. Where did I miss that one? I don't know. I keep overlooking it, I think. I don't know. I think, oh, there it is. No, I don't see it. Looks like it got maybe retracted or something. I don't know. I don't see the one on CELZ. But anyway, CELZ, just to kind of go over real quick. It's a pharmaceutical company, if I'm not mistaken. That's one that I played like way back early spring, I think. Made a nice little decent play based off of the ascending channel, I think, that I had on that. Let me just take a quick peek before I go ahead and show it to you, if it's even worth showing at this point. But yeah, it's been a lot of folks in CELZ. It's been uptrending since the first of the year. Lots of good stuff going on with CELZ overall. had a major move. I'm just looking at it now to 7 cents, all the way from what was it? Shoot, I mean, it was sub penny at the beginning of the year, and has seen highs of 7 cents since then. So CLZ has a lot going for it. They have a bunch of other stuff going on. So certainly a quality stock. If you're looking to do a long hold on that, I certainly can see value in that if you do. But there's just been so much going on with that, with the trend and everything like that. Certainly a good stock to get into. I've been looking at Bigfoot. Oh my gosh. So Bigfoot, there's literally a stock out there, guys. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome to the OTC, because there is a stock out there that is BGFT, and Bigfoot is apparently a real thing, in case you didn't know. And that is all that company is about, is Bigfoot. And people are buying the hell out of it because I don't know. They're making maybe some sort of documentary out of it. It's silly. I don't even, when I see crap like that, I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. And if you make money on it, you make money on it, fine. Knock yourself out. But I'm just like, I just can't. I just laugh too hard at it. Yeah, so, I mean, hey, whatever. Josh, thanks, man. All right, guys. Well, things are drying up here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. So thank you once again for tuning into my Stock Watch Sunday, which is actually on Monday this week. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope that you do, to see more great content. I go live every now and then. I've been doing a lot more pre-recorded videos. I think people get a lot more out of that as well. So I've been kind of mixing it up a little bit as far as content goes, and people have been pretty responsive to that as well. So I'm going to continue to do some of that, and just keep grinding and keep improving on this, guys. We have over almost 7,300 followers on YouTube, and we have over 2,200 subscribers to WeTradeHQ.com worldwide, and we're helping people every day and changing lives, and that's what it's all about, guys. So as always, if you're in my mentorship class, I will see you at 9 a.m. Sharp, and for the rest of you, I will see you all before the bell, as always, guys. And B. Smith is out. Have a good one. See you tomorrow morning.